Yo. And we back with another one. Hey, with another one.
Oh,
Y'all, I love this intro.
You do?
I absolutely do.
I like it too.
It's such a vibe.
Shout out to my brother,
Hey.
Quan. He be getting us together with the music, so.
No, for real.
I should be excited for January 2023 because the revamp is coming. So.
And I'm so excited.
Should be dope, but
Super
deep.
deep.
Yeah, I'm good. Donuts, how you feeling?
Truthfully.
Oh boy, truthfully.
Okay, listen, I feel good, but I feel no. Stop.
I was just playing. All right.
No, but I mean, just a little transparency right now, where God has spoken something over us, and we're walking in it. And it's just like right now, it's so hard because it's just like, Lord, I know what you said. And so we're walking in it. We're walking. But it's like, it's so hard to keep the faith. Oof. Yeah, I got it out.
All right. What do you mean? Okay, well, I mean, we about to just dive right into it.
Yeah,
so,
let's dive.
Just a disclaimer and FYI, this is something we don't really prepare for all of them, but we kind of have discussions. But this is just personal. It's more of a kind of being a vulnerable, I don't say vulnerable state, but we're just being like you said, transparent in where we're at.
Yes.
And when she say about keeping the faith, not in the sense of like our salvific faith and what we believe, but
yeah, definitely not.
This is like I don't even know what we gonna title this, but we'll figure it out as we go. But
yeah,
this is the conversation about faith in the sense of just trusting what God said,
right,
concerning you,
right,
personally. Like that's sometimes it's hard to accept that. Yeah, so let's kind of talk about that. Yeah,
so, I mean, anybody who knows me, I'm a very emotional individual. And I just, you and these buttons.
Just my bad.
So irritating.
My bad.
No, I'm a super emotional individual. And so, I feel like I have a huge heart and things like that. And so it's just like, when I'm in something, I am in it. Like, full-fledged, full force. And I started out with, okay, like, when people prophesy over you, just like, okay, yeah, oh, okay.
Right.
And you're cautious. And I'm the type of individual, I'm going to pray about everything. Like, you can ask my husband, everything gets prayer for me because I need to be in constant communication with the Father.
As we should.
And I want to make sure that I'm not misstepping. Granted, I know that God doesn't micromanage, but I believe that on big decisions, God will give you
direction.
He will give you direction. And so,
see how we finish each other's sentences?
Yeah, I love it. So again, God has spoken something over our lives, and we walked in it.
Currently walking in
it. So if we get emotional, it's because we're currently walking in it. And it's just so hard to keep the faith because it's just like, Lord, I don't see how.
And it's weird for both of us. It's like it's two different perspectives on this. Like for me, it's not in the sense of who and what he's going to do, but it's more of a sense of I'm the analytics. I like the how. I like she's the big dreamer. Like, this is what I want to do. I'm like, I'm with you, but how we go get there? That's all I need to know. I need to know step by step how we go get there. And this process right now is humbling me in the sense of he's letting me know, like, you ain't got to know everything.
Yeah.
Ain't got to know the answer, Sway. It's like, so it's just, I'm like, all right. So it's really getting me in the sense of because it's not moving as quickly as I would like, because I know what's coming. So it's like, okay, I ain't heard nothing yet. Let me go ahead and try to look this up, check this status, hit up this person, see different alternatives just in case. It's just like, he ain't asked us to do none of that. He don't want to. He said, this is what I'm going to do, and you trust me or not? Listen. And it's like, ooh. It's a good question. Do we truly trust him? Not in this, because I'm gonna let you tell your point, then we can kind of get more.
No, yeah, and my point just comes from the fact of, am I even worth the blessing in which he has spoken over my life? Like, am I really worth? But then it's like so frustrating because it's just like, I'm worth his son dying for me. So why wouldn't I be worth earthly thing? You know what I mean?
Right.
But that's just how my mind is running right now. It's just like, are you worth this? And then it's almost like, well, will he give me exactly what it is that I desire? Or is this, and like I was talking to you a few days ago, and I was just like, well, how do I even know that? Because like, I know that I've been reading my word and I have been, seeking God's face. Like, I have been. And so I feel like my desires and things started to change to where they were his will. But how my mind is running, it's like, well, it's really not his will. Like, this is your personal desire. This is something you want. That looks totally opposite of what he wants. Like, and so these are just all, I hope somebody can relate. Like, I don't know, we're just talking. So
why do you think that is, in the sense of, like you said, you believe him and have the faith that, yes, his son, Jesus Christ, died for our sins, rose on the third day. We have the Holy Ghost as the gift, stuff like that too. But yet, this something materialistic that you're hoping to die for. Why do you feel like, what's the difference? Like, why would he deem you worthy enough to die for, but not worthy enough to give you something you desire? In the sense of, obviously, if it's something that's not in his will, of course it's not. But like, trying to put it, because all the examples I see in the Bible, as far as they had specific prayers and specific desires and asked for specific things, and God definitely granted that.
Yeah,
because it was a part of his will, and two, like we were saying, it was a twofold. Like Abraham, he wanted a son, they just couldn't produce a son.
Yeah,
he even tried to do it. When God did tell him that, hey, I'm going to give you a son, he was like, okay, I don't know how we go do it. So his wife thought of this bright idea of, hey, just sleep with mine. It's like, no, I said y'all two, but he did that. So he gave them the desire of their heart, but also it was a twofold, because that was also a part of his will, because he was going to use Isaac for a purpose as well. So it was just like, I don't know, where is why do you feel you're not worthy of something like this when he felt he loved you enough to even die for you?
And that's the crazy part. I've been asking myself that. Like, girl, he died for you. This man died for you. And you feel like he can't do what he has already said that he is going to do.
All right.
But I think it's just because I think, now that I'm like processing it a little bit more, maybe it is a time issue.
Because he said it is like, oh, this should happen tomorrow then?
Yeah, or at least, like that's how it feels.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know if it's a time issue. I don't know if it's, I don't know. I honestly can't even answer that.
Answer why you felt the way you felt?
Why I feel like I know that he died for me and I'm worth dying for.
Right.
But yeah, I'm not worth the other blessings. And I think it's not so much maybe being worth it as it is.
You don't think you deserve it?
Not deserve it. I just don't think I think the prosperity gospel has done a disservice to believers, because it's just like a lot of people believe in certain things, and then when it doesn't come to pass, they're just like, so maybe I wasn't worth it. Yeah. Or maybe I wasn't, like, and that's how.
That makes sense.
You know?
That makes sense.
Okay.
The question now becomes, and you said this in the car.
Oh, Lord. What did I say?
In a sense of, he was like, why would you not think you're worthy of this, but you're worthy, or you accept the fact that he died for you? So it's now, in that sense, not this is what you believe, but like when you make it like that, it makes it seem like, oh, this materialistic thing I want is better than Jesus dying on the cross for you.
Yeah.
Your salvation.
Yeah.
When it's like, no, this is the salvation. Him dying on the cross for you is like the ultimate gift that we can ever even receive, and we didn't even ask for it. He gave it to us freely. So, of course, anything other than that is always going to be beneath that. So that's just, it's really, I say it's just chump change compared to what he has truly given us. So it's just like, I think when we change our mindset of what we're asking and compare it to what we already have, it's like, oh, this is nothing for you to be able to.
I think I just got it.
Achieve, you know?
I think I got too familiar with the faith.
Ooh. Comfortable or familiar? What you mean? Explain that.
In the sense of, I'm constantly walking with him.
Mm-hmm.
So in a sense, that was my boat. But now God is like, okay, I need you to put your money where your mouth is.
All right, Peter.
And I need you to step out. And I need you to walk on the water.
But here's the crazy part about that.
Okay, let's go.
Not crazy, I want to say that. But here's the thing about that scenario you just used.
Let me stop turning my head, because that's hurting my neck.
Jesus didn't ask Peter to come out. Peter asked.
I know.
So it's like, you asked for this. He's like, oh, cool. Like, I'm glad you asked. Yeah, come on. But I think, like, it's one of them. I think what also happened to him, I'm going to finish that. What also is like this faith walk, a lot of, you always hear, oh, you got to have that unwavering faith.
Yeah.
Just like, which is true, but I don't think we talk enough about, we are human. Mm-hmm. Flesh is real.
Yeah.
That is what the spirit, our spirit and our flesh constantly fights every single day.
Yeah.
So even walking in faith, you're going to have that. You're in your own mind, getting in your own head saying like, oh, he really ain't gonna do that for you. You don't deserve that. That's your flesh talking. But your spirit man is agreeing with the Holy Spirit. And he's like, no, I told you, this is what he said. This is what's happening. I just need you to walk in it. But so now it's okay to have those moments of, I don't want to say doubt, but like just this, oh my gosh, you know what I mean? That feeling of, this is hard. Yeah. I mean, we look at David. He wrote did he write Lamentations?
I don't know if he wrote
part of it, but obviously he wrote Psalms.
Yeah.
In a sense, that's a lot of lamenting he had in there in worship. So it's like, it ain't that he didn't have those down moments, but he recognized who still gave him the strength,
right?
Who was his strong tower in those weak moments. So he constantly kept pressing, even though it was hard to do.
Yeah.
So I think we don't talk about enough and have those conversations of allowing people to have venting moments.
Listen,
I mean, Elijah had a venting moment when he came to God, thinking he was just like, no, chill out. You're just hungry. You need to take a nap.
Just let me die.
It's just like, no, go take a nap, wake up, eat, take another. It's like, we need to allow people to express those things to kind of get that off, but also encourage them to be like, look, I know it's hard, but just keep going. But anyways, when you said familiar, I think that was in that scenario with Peter and Jesus. Jesus was trying to stretch Peter's faith. Even though Peter asked, he was like, good, yes, come on, it is me.
It's like Peter opened the invitation for Jesus to do what he, and so it makes me think of in James when it says, count it all joy when you enter diverse temptations, knowing that it is the perfecting of your faith that will produce patience. And so it's just like, trials and things that we go through, they don't produce faith. But what it does is it presents the faith to you to be like, okay, you really got faith?
Right.
Like it almost calls your faith out on its, I don't want to say on its bluff, but you know what I'm trying to say.
I mean, in a way, it's kind of like,
yeah,
this is, oh, you saying you have faith. Okay, let's see.
Listen, and that's what it is like while we have been going through what we're going through. And it's just like, parents, you sing this, you talk this, you read this, you have spent time in this. Like, why is it not connecting? Mm-hmm. And it's so crazy because, like I told you, like if this was anybody else and they were telling me everything that God has told them and everything that has happened thus far, I'd be like, now, girl, you know without a shadow of a doubt.
Right.
But yet for me, it's still like, ooh, Lord, I don't know. This was heavy.
Which I'm trying to understand, seriously.
Listen,
she's legit the one. Anybody, it don't matter what. She got the most faith in the world because, you know, oh yeah, you can do this. You got the faith. I got you, sisters, that too. But then the moment it's
and like my faith is legit,
and it's legit. It's not this like legit faith. But then for some reason, I told her, I was like, why don't you have that same energy for yourself?
When it comes to me, I'm just like,
and it
because like you with your heart issue, I truly believe that God was going to heal you. Uh-huh. There was no doubt in my mind,
and I'm healed.
And you're like, and this is not to say, it's just I know that God is able to do it. Like I know He is. But then when it comes to me, I'm just like,
you know what this is though? It's more of a reflection of how you feel about yourself.
Okay, we're going to wrap it up.
I'm sorry. But it's just like,
this is not
I'm sorry. This might turn into a therapy session. So
for parents.
Anyway, I'm just like, I get it too, because at the same time, I don't always like, you try to remain as humble as you can and try to say, oh yes, God had this for me. You're not saying you got to go out and verbally do it, but even in your heart, you don't want to try to taint it even more than it already is tainted, because the Bible talks about how the word is, deceitful and wicked, stuff like that too. Yeah. But
you know what? I got to do this. Bruh. Because that's how I feel.
So it's just like, what I'm hearing more of, and this is stuff we ain't really, talked about. This y'all getting some real exclusive stuff right now, but it's just
I'm irritated already.
It's like this is how you feel about yourself, as if you don't think you deserve nice things. So it's hard for you to accept that even God Himself said, "Hey, I'm going to do this for you," but you're just like, nah, I'm good, God. And what you're doing is saying you know better than Him. Which we know that's not the case,
right?
But by you're getting in His way of what He truly wants to do for you, because He trusts you with it. First of all, He's not going to bless somebody with some things that He told them going to do if He don't trust them with it. Because a lot of times His will is He'll give us our desires, but as long as they match up His will. But then it's also know that He knows we're going to be good stewards of this and return it back to Him for the advancement of the kingdom. It's never, anytime God blesses you with something He says He's going to do, it's not even for you anyway. It's really for the kingdom. It's for everybody else around you. Even if it's something you may benefit from, but it's a testimony. It's something you can use. I mean, it's so many different things, but it's not simply just for you.
Right.
But you're blocking Him from advancing the kingdom through you with this blessing or whatever the case is. So it's just like, but this is more of a...
Bruh.
It's more of a how you truly feel about yourself. It's more of a self-reflective thing. Like, granted, I know we're not supposed to think highly of ourselves than we ought, more than we ought to. But like at the same time, if God said it, if God called us, like, who are even we ourselves to say, nah, God, I'm good. I mean, I know there's situations where, but like, we really have to walk in that and like, you know what? Lord, teach me how to accept this.
How to accept the good things
that you truly have for me, and how to manage it well, and how to steward it, and how to give it back to you, and how to remain humble even when I get it. So it's like, I know it's a lot of different, I know for me it's like, it's a lot of different factors to where you could receive these things and it could alter we see it all the time. People get blessed with so many different things and now they whole mood change. They big and bag, they holier than thou, they all these different things. So it's like they don't remain humble. But so I think that can be an issue too, in the sense of you don't want to turn out like that. But to say you anybody else is just like, but then when it comes to you, it's like, no. It's like, no, I can't do that. I can't let you go down like that. Not my wife. Now.
Okay.
Put my foot down. Did you hear it? No.
Stop.
But no, I mean, huh?
Said you're making this eye water.
Oh, it's allergies.
Oh, it is.
No, whatever.
It's allergies.
But I don't know. It's like we're just really talking and having conversation amongst each other. But I really hope somebody out there is kind of. I'm sure. I ain't gonna say hope. I know people that's watching that can relate 100% to this. How hard it is to walk in what God has called you to do. And then walk in and accept what God has said He's going to do for you. Because we've all had life be life, and we've all had moments where like maybe I just don't deserve things. Maybe I am just the encourager for everybody else. And for me,
that's what I feel like. If I'm being honest, that's exactly what I feel like I am. Mm-hmm. That I'm just the one that God has to encourage and to remind people of the faith.
That's true, but He got to give you something to help remind them. He got to give you a testimony. Granted, the word alone is itself, but the people that we use as examples has a testimony that we can look like, man. You remember Abraham, went out on faith and went to go or you remember Moses, how we have a great cloud of witness. Hebrews 11 talks about that, faith.
Oops, I shut the TV.
I'm sorry, is it not 11?
Yeah, it is Hebrews 11.
Okay, yeah, my bad. All right. See, I've been studying a little bit.
Yeah, that's where I've been at.
But, this we just want to encourage people out there that faith is hard. And we're walking in probably one of the biggest faith moves that we've faced today. And it was just one of them. I just feel like God was like, y'all doing this salt talk, all this talking about faith, and just that too. It's just like, all right.
I'm calling you out.
Right, I'm calling you out.
And it's so crazy because do you remember that Sunday where God used me to speak? And it was like, the Lord is calling us out.
Oh, yep.
And I kept saying it, not knowing. And it's just like, it's so crazy too. Because it's like when you're walking in this thing and you're doing this thing, that's why I said I got so familiar with the faith, because it's just like, I truly believed that I had enough faith even when it came to myself, because I really believed in this thing. Like I still really believe in this thing.
Right.
But now when it came on my front door, it's like, okay, I'm walking. Like I feel like Gideon right now, or Joshua right now. Like I'm going to have courage to do this because I am fearful. But then it's like on the opposite end, when you're leaping out on faith, you don't really lose anything. Everything else it's just a gain.
Right.
So
it's one of them. Then it's like you requested this too, Peter. Lord, if it's you,
I had to open up my big mouth.
Bid me to come. And it's like, typically when we like, I love how I think it was Dr. Eric Mason when he was talking about when you asking for this, like when you really walking with Him, what you ask for end up being what God wanted to do for you anyway. So it end up lining up with His will. You know what I mean? So I think like in this situation with Peter, I feel like it was really Jesus or God's will for him to ask him to step out. He's like, I definitely want him to step out.
Because think about after that. Remember, we found out after that is when Jesus had said, like, okay, who do men say that I am? I think it's in like Matthew 16.
A few chapters later, yeah.
Who do men say that I am? And they're like, some say Elijah, some say a prophet, a teacher, But Peter was like, truly, you are the Son of God. And he was like, flesh and blood did not reveal this to you.
He's like, my man.
Listen, it ain't revealed this to you. It was nothing but again, it was by faith.
By faith. And I think Peter had the faith, but he had familiar faith on, the boat. He was comfortable with the boat, but I feel like, I don't know, when he asked to be stepped out, because nothing changes. Nothing changed from when he was in the boat and when he was out the boat. As far as they say, it was a storm going on.
Yeah, the situation was still the same.
The situation was still the same, but now his territory or his the territory changed. So it's like, yeah, you had faith in the boat, but
because it was familiar.
You had faith in me in the boat.
It was comfortable.
But once you step out, it was like nothing. Like the wind was still howling while he was on the boat. The wind was still and the light, all this stuff. But the moment he stepped out, he didn't have that comfortability, that familiarity on that boat no more.
And tangible,
like, and then he was just sitting, he got shook. He was like, oh snap. But I like how it says that he didn't quite lose all his faith, but that doubt definitely distracted him in the sense of to where he started to drown. But then he knew still have faith enough to say, allow Jesus save me or help me. And that's when he came and helped him. And then Jesus responded, he was like, what did he say? He said, you of little faith, why did you doubt?
Yes.
He never said he didn't have faith, but he said of little faith. So that's like, like, man, the little faith you had, you should have held on to that because see, look what it produced. And that goes along with when he was talking about if you have the faith the size of a mustard seed, you be to speak to the mountain and to move. So the little faith he had allowed him to be able to walk on the water, but because he got distracted and lost that foundational, that piece of being out of the boat or being in new territory, it caused him to start drowning. But God is trying to get us to understand, like, keep your faith and keep your focus on me.
Yeah. But that is hard too.
It's hard, yeah. Because
especially because you're looking at everything.
It's new territory.
Like, okay, Lord, this is what I want. Lord, okay, what am I supposed to be doing in this season? I know that you said you spoke this over my life. So now what do I do?
It's new territory.
It is.
It's hard. So when he stepped out, it was just like, I think he was teaching him in that moment, it's like you was comfortable in that boat, not realizing I'm also the one that's holding that boat up.
Yeah.
So you stepping out here is nothing. I'm holding all y'all and the boat up in this water, but you alone walking on the water is nothing for me because, I mean, obviously we know they was just so marveled at it afterwards. Man, who is this man that's able to control the weather?
Yeah.
It's like we didn't realize who we were dealing with because, I mean, that was right after they just witnessed him feeding, the 5,000 and stuff like. But I don't know how that didn't convince them there, but it's just.
That's the thing too. It's just like, and I'm sorry because I don't want to put myself in the text,
right.
But analyzing everything because it's just like, I saw him heal my mom with the cancer. Mm-hmm. I saw him heal you of your heart problem. I saw him restore marriages. I saw him sustain us. Like I've seen him do all this stuff.
Yeah. We did a budget thing. It was like maybe earlier this year, and we only got one income right now, and just transferring. But like the expenses versus income we have right now,
and it's not like extra expensive. We ain't out here.
No, it ain't. Yeah, clearly,
it's literally necessities.
But our expenses that we have versus the income that we have coming in does not match at all. And we sitting here like, how in the world are we paying all this stuff on time, mind you, but yet and still able to do other? I'm just like, yeah, God, I see you. This is clearly not by our own might or doing. Granted, we still have to walk in it, but he is the one that making provisions and stuff like that too. It's just, I don't know. It was just, I don't know. We have such, like, again, great cloud of witness, even from reading at other people's testimonies or even our own personal experience, that we should be able to look back to and be like, if he did this, then surely he'll be able to do that. Like Ty Tripp said, if he did it before, he can do it again.
Same God right now. Same God back then. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to probably watch this episode like
go watch it back.
Because I'm like, Lord, Jesus.
Yeah, it's definitely, I mean, we're probably overtime too, but.
No, we're not.
Here we are.
No, we're not.
You sure?
Positive.
Okay. Well, anyways. We're done anyway. I'm just playing.
Yeah, it's, listen, anybody who is going through something where the Lord has spoken over your life and you either want to walk in it, but you're terrified, or you're walking in it scared.
The key is to keep walking.
I'm with you.
Yes, we're with you, but the key is to just keep walking. That's faith.
Yeah.
Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. So when you're walking, you don't know if the next step is going to be there, but that's faith. You trust God to know when you remember that one movie we always talk about, not well, but this kid movie. I can't remember. Onward. It's granted, you know, for all my super deep folks, yes, it has a little like witchcraft, I think, but like if you walk with the Holy Spirit enough, he can filter out the things and get you the revelations you need. Anyway, but
now that's not to say that you can just go listen to things.
Yeah, just not saying go do it freely, but like it's a kids movie. I think it was on Disney Plus or whatever. We was watching our kids, but it was so many revelations in that thing. It was like, oh my gosh, it was speaking to us. But it was one point to where he truly was trying to activate, quote unquote, his powers and this was a thing, but his brother didn't have it, but he knew how to
get it out of him.
He studied it so much to where it's like, I don't have it, but I know you got it. But these are the things you got to do. So his little brother is trying to go. So they get to the point to where there's this, it's a cliff and it's supposed to be a bridge there, but it's not there. But his brother's like, no, the bridge is there. You just have to activate it. But the only way you activate it is if you believe that the steps is there. You just got to walk out on there. And he looking at his brother like he crazy, like, bro, ain't nothing there.
Listen.
There is no bridge. He was like, bro, trust me, you have it in you, but when you walk, it's going to, as soon as you step, it's going to light up. So what happens is he was like, all right. So he gave him this little confidence rope, whatever, wrapped it around him and he held it, just in case. So he was like, trust me. So he closed his eyes and he went and he stepped out over the cliff and
a step was
like he said, a step happened. It appeared as soon as he landed on it. And then he kind of felt it like, oh, snap. So he got confident.
If y'all can't tell, he really loved this movie.
It was super dope. I was just like, oh, snap. It was just like, what faith is. But then to see it played out in a visual, it just.
And I think that's what this is right now. It's just like, I know what faith is.
But now you got to play it out.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Oh, wow, that's good. Guys, like, you know what it is intellectually, but I need you to know what it is spiritually. So I need you to put this thing to work. Faith without works is dead. I'm done.
Got it bumping.